Good morning, Colonialists. My name is Tanner. I'm the Garden Center General Manager here at Colonial Gardens. July is kicking off our water campaign. Water is essential to life. It's essential to plant growth. Without it, we would have basically nothing. So today we're going to show you a couple of our ways that we keep everything watered around here. As you all know, it's really hot. We haven't had rain in a while. We're really needing it. And so we're going to water this tropical bed today. So if we're going to be hand watering this bed, there's a couple things that we need to keep in mind. First and foremost, we need to make sure that we're saturating our soil profile completely. I always like to allow things to dry almost to the point of wilting before I water them again. This is especially true for most annuals. I really want to see them wilt before I give them a good hearty soak. When I irrigate my beds, I always want to make sure that I'm doing it either early in the morning or late in the evening. This allows my water to really get to the soil profile without evaporating due to the sun. It's still maybe a little bit too late as I'm doing it now, but it works for demonstration purposes. When we hand water, we want to make sure that our breaker is nice and free and clear. It has the ability to break up that water stream into the smallest particles possible. That keeps you from eroding away your soil, away from your roots. When we water, we want to make sure that we get even coverage. I don't let anything go dry whenever I'm watering. I'm also going to soak that sucker completely. Now, if your bed has drip irrigation, which this bed is also enabled with drip irrigation, we want to make sure that we're turning on that irrigation first thing in the morning or late in the evening, just like we would if we hand watered. We want to make sure that our cycle runs long enough to ensure that our water is getting where it needs to go and not just getting the first couple inches wet. When we hand water containers, we need to make sure that we evenly distribute that across the entire container, and we need to be watering it until we see it running out of the bottom. I really am adamant against getting water on the foliage. Of course, plants like bromeliads, you have to fill up their vases. So there's always caveats and tricks to that, but as a general rule of thumb, we try not to get any water on our foliage. And it may take a hot second for us to see the water running out of the bottom of the container, but that just means that we're ensuring that we got that entire soil profile top to bottom watered. Now, alocasias and colocasias, this one is Alocasia serendipity, just for example. This plant likes to have its leaves washed. That keeps up against spider mites. If you ever start to see the webbing on them in late summer, that's spider mites. And the best way to alleviate that is just by giving it a good bath. In the wild, alocasias receive rain almost every single day, so they're used to not having to deal with spider mites. But when you're in the Midwest and the Upper South, you may not get a whole lot of rain, and that will cause your spider mite buildup. So I'm still not seeing it running out the bottom yet, so I'm just going to keep on plugging. I'm going to move my wand around a little bit here to the back side just to make sure this coleus back here gets plenty of water. And while I'm doing that, sometimes I'll clean up these leaves, spent blooms, just to make sure that I'm making good use of my time. To kick off water month, we're putting all of our dram watering supplies 10% off. So that includes all of our sprinklers, our hoses, our watering wands, any of our breakers, and our always favorite watering cans. Just to talk a little bit about each one of them, the plastic watering cans are a great, durable, all-purpose watering can, allowing you to reach houseplants, anything at pie, anything that you really need a long spout. This comes in a smaller size too. Our oscillating sprinklers are all metal. They're very heavy duty. This is kind of the gold standard for our industry. You're gonna break something if you hit it with a mower. They're really tough. They put up with a lot of crap, but it's great when you're starting your lawn. Our revolving sprinklers, I've got two different styles of those. Same way, they're just built to last, they're durable, and they're gonna keep everything nice and fresh. Whenever you use these, we recommend hooking them up to a hose, of course. We also have the dram hoses that are on sale, 10% off. The dram hoses are a very heavy duty hose. They're designed not to kink as long as your pressure is high enough, and they have a pretty decent warranty attached to them as well. You can hook any of these up to the dram hoses. What I love about the hoses in particular is they're very bright. You won't lose them in the lawn. and that's pretty important if you lose pruners all the time as well. They have a great selection of pruners. Their wands, this one in particular is a great ergonomic wand. We like it because it fits really well in the palm of our hand. They all have a metal ball in the middle, so it's not going to break on us, but it's designed to really be held in your hand for a long time. This is the wand that we all use here in our greenhouses and in our nurseries when we hand water. Some of them have a fixed head that just has the holes on it. This one spins, so you can get a couple different ways to water with it. Typically when we're doing plant material, we primarily want it to just be on shower.